You see, life has this curious way of arranging itself when you stop forcing it. The mind likes to believe it must hunt, chase, and cling to everything it desires, as if opportunities are fragile birds that will fly away the moment you relax your grip. But what if the truth is quite the opposite? What if the right people and the right opportunities are not things you must seize, but things that naturally find their way to you when you allow the river of life to carry you, instead of thrashing about in it? There is a rhythm to existence, an invisible pattern that threads together all moments, all encounters, all events. When you are impatient, when you try to pull the threads too fast, you tangle them. But when you breathe and trust, you find that the weaving is being done for you. Those you are meant to meet are already walking their own paths toward you. The doors you are meant to walk through are already being built in the distance. Their keys already fashioned for your hand. The great illusion is that you are separate from this process, that you must orchestrate every note of the symphony. Yet the music has always been playing, and you are part of it, whether you conduct or simply listen. You may look around now and see emptiness. You may feel alone, misunderstood, or stalled in a place where nothing seems to move. But the stillness is not a punishment. It is a space being cleared. Imagine a garden. Before the right seeds are planted, the soil must be emptied of weeds, turned over, and made ready. You are in that preparation. And while you wait, life is moving in unseen ways, bringing people who will see you as you are, and placing opportunities that will feel like they were made for you. Not because you begged for them, but because you became the kind of person who naturally fits them. We are taught to believe that value is proven through constant effort, that if we are not always running towards something, we will be left behind. But running in the wrong direction with great speed only takes you further from where you belong. There is a kind of wisdom in pausing, in stepping back from the noise and allowing life to catch up with you. The right people cannot arrive if you are endlessly entertaining the wrong ones. The right opportunities cannot appear if your hands are full of things you secretly wish to let go of. And so, to relax is not to give up. It is to stop wrestling with the tide and let it carry you to shores you could never have imagined. It is to understand that the unfolding is not random. It is intimate, precise, and purposeful. You are not late. You are not missing out. The right people are already on their way, carrying with them conversations, laughter, and connections that will change your life. The right opportunities are already moving toward you, quietly aligning themselves with your path, waiting for the moment you are ready to meet them. The moment you are ready, there is something profoundly liberating in realizing that life does not need your constant interference to unfold as it should. We have been trained from the earliest days to believe that every outcome is a direct result of our restless activity. We are told that if we do not act now, someone else will take what could have been ours. This mindset pushes us into a constant state of chasing, of grasping at every opportunity and every relationship, as if the world is a battlefield where scarcity rules. Yet in truth, the right people and opportunities are not prizes scattered in random places for the fastest to snatch. They are more like planets in orbit, following their own trajectory, destined to cross paths with you at the moment when both your courses align. The chasing does not create the meeting. It often delays it, for chasing presumes separation and lack. while alignment flows from trust and presence. When you begin to trust the natural flow of life, you start to understand that there is a deeper intelligence at work, an intelligence that operates far beyond the calculations of your conscious mind. The right person may be in another city right now, living a life that is preparing them to meet you. The right opportunity may be in the hands of someone you have never met, but whose choices and circumstances are quietly shifting in your direction. You do not need to know their names or details for this to be true, just as the river does not need to explain its course to the pebble it carries. Life does not need to send you daily reports on how your blessings are approaching. Trust allows you to rest in the knowing that movement is happening, even when your senses cannot yet detect it. The trouble comes when the mind, impatient and unwilling to wait, forces itself into situations that do not resonate. This is how we end up surrounded by the wrong people, those who cannot truly see us, and stuck in opportunities that feel heavy rather than alive. The irony is that we do this because we fear nothing better is coming, but in clinging to the wrong, we close the door to the right. Trusting the natural flow is an act of release. It is choosing not to hold on to what does not feel right, even when letting go creates temporary emptiness. It is choosing not to fill the silence with noise, but to let the silence remain, knowing it is not emptiness at all. It is space for alignment. Think of how the seasons change. Spring does not come because winter chases it. It comes because the earth tilts, the temperature shifts, the light changes. It is a natural process that requires no rushing. And when spring arrives, it does so with an abundance that makes the waiting worthwhile. Flowers bloom without anxiety, rain falls without bargaining, and life emerges as if it had been planning this moment all along. The same is true for the right people and opportunities in your life. They will not arrive sooner because you demand them to, and they will not pass you by because you took a moment to rest. They come with the precision of seasons, and they bring their own abundance. Trusting the flow is not the same as doing nothing. It is not a call to apathy or indifference. Rather, it is about participating with awareness, about taking inspired steps without the strain of desperation. You show up to life, you explore, you learn, you create, but you release the belief that you must control the outcome. You let your actions be expressions of who you are, not frantic attempts to manipulate the timeline. This is where a subtle but powerful shift happens. When you act from a place of trust, your energy changes, and life responds differently. You are no longer broadcasting urgency or lack. You are radiating openness and readiness. That openness is magnetic. It draws to you what is already aligned with your essence. In trusting, you also learn to listen. Opportunities have a language, and so do people. They are not always loud or obvious. Sometimes they whisper. When you are in a constant rush, you cannot hear these whispers. But in trust, you become still enough to notice the subtle signs. A conversation that sparks an idea, a chance encounter that feels significant, a small invitation that opens a much larger door. These are the quiet arrivals of alignment, and they are often missed by those who are too busy forcing other plans to work. The right people may not enter your life with grand announcements. They may simply sit beside you one day and a connection begins. The right opportunity may not come disguised as what you've been chasing. It may appear in a form you never expected, and only trust will allow you to see it for what it is. There is also an ease that comes with trust, and it is this ease that makes space for miracles. When you are not exhausting yourself in pursuit, you have energy for presence. You have the ability to truly see the people in front of you, to appreciate where you are, to notice the beauty and possibility in what already exists. This presence is fertile ground. It nurtures the roots of your future without you needing to tear open the soil every day to check if growth is happening. When the right people arrive, you will meet them with calm recognition, not frantic grabbing. When the right opportunity presents itself, you will step into it with steady feet, not trembling hands, because you will have known deep down. And perhaps the greatest gift of trusting the natural flow of life is that it returns you to yourself. It reminds you that you are not a beggar in this world, pleading for scraps of luck or kindness. You are part of a greater unfolding that has been moving long before you were born and will continue long after. You belong to this flow, and it belongs to you. The right people and opportunities are not separate from you. They are threads in the same fabric, waiting for their moment to be woven into your story. When you live with this understanding, patience is no longer a burden. It becomes a quiet joy, a steady confidence that life is, even now, arranging the meeting points that will change everything. There is a peculiar beauty in the moments when life appears to stand still. We often mistake these pauses for stagnation, as though nothing meaningful is happening because nothing visible is moving. But stillness is deceptive in that way. It is not the absence of motion. It is the quiet gathering of forces beneath the surface. Just as a seed lies in the darkness of the soil, unseen by the eye, and yet is quietly preparing to split open and grow, your own life uses these silent intervals to prepare the ground for what is to come. The right people and opportunities cannot take root in chaos. They need space. And space is only created when you are willing to stop filling every moment with noise and distraction, and instead allow the stillness to do its work. This is the part that so many find difficult. Stillness can feel uncomfortable because it strips away the illusion that you are in control of the timeline. In our culture, we have been conditioned to equate busyness with importance, activity with progress, and constant movement with success. When things slow down, the mind panics. It says, I must be falling behind. I must be missing something. I need to do more, find more, be more. But this frantic grasping is often the very thing that blocks what is meant for you. The right people may be approaching, but if your life is crammed with half-hearted connections and shallow distractions, they will have no place to land. The right opportunities may be drawing near, but if your hands are already full of obligations you do not truly value, you will have no capacity to embrace them. There is a wisdom in emptiness, though we rarely see it. When a room is cluttered, there is no space for new furniture. When a heart is cluttered, there is no space for new love. And when a schedule is cluttered, there is no space for new ventures. Stillness is the moment when life begins clearing out what no longer serves you. Sometimes this happens gently. Relationships fade, projects conclude, certain doors close without much noise. Other times, it is more abrupt. Things fall apart suddenly, leaving you staring at the emptiness they leave behind. Both are acts of preparation. The absence you feel is not a loss without purpose, but a space being carved for the right things to enter. The challenge lies in not rushing to fill that space with substitutes. Many do this because the discomfort of emptiness feels unbearable. They accept friendships that don't inspire them, jobs that drain them, opportunities that don't align with their values, simply because they cannot tolerate the void. But if you fill the cleared ground too quickly, you leave no room for what was meant to grow there. And to trust stillness is to resist that impulse. It is to sit in the space and understand that it is not a vacuum. It is a cradle for something greater than what you had before. Stillness also allows you to hear what is easily drowned out by constant motion. Life speaks in subtle ways. An inner nudge, a quiet curiosity, a recurring thought you cannot shake. These signals often get lost in the noise of endless activity, but in stillness, they rise to the surface. You begin to notice what you truly miss and what you do not. You see which relationships you yearn for and which ones you only maintained out of habit. You recognize the kind of opportunities that excite you and the kind that merely keep you busy. This clarity is part of the preparation. It ensures that when the right people and opportunities arrive, you will recognize them instantly. Not because they are the loudest or most glamorous, but because they resonate with the truth of who you are. And here is the paradox. The right people and opportunities are not only looking for you, they too require preparation. You may be ready for them in your heart, but perhaps they are still becoming ready for you. They may be going through their own season of stillness, their own clearing and reshaping, so that when your paths cross, you will both meet as whole and present beings. The timing, then, is not just about you. It is about the weaving together of countless other lives and moments, all aligning to create the perfect point of connection. This is why patience matters. You are not waiting alone. You are part of a larger synchrony. When you embrace stillness, you begin to shift from desperation to readiness. You no longer see the pause as an enemy, but as an ally. You learn to breathe within it, to notice the details of your life, to care for yourself in ways you neglected when you were always rushing. And this self-tending changes your energy. You are no longer vibrating with anxiety and scarcity. You are steady, grounded, open. The right people can feel this. The right opportunities are drawn to it. Stillness refines you into the kind of person who not only attracts the right things, but can hold on to them when they arrive. You might look back months or years from now and realize that the very stillness you once resisted was the turning point. It was the season when life quietly shifted the pieces into place, when unseen doors began to form, when your energy transformed so completely that what once passed you by could finally find its way to you. You may remember the loneliness, the uncertainty, the sense that nothing was happening. So when the stillness comes, do not fight it. Sit with it. Listen to it. Let it do its work. Let it carve out the space that will be filled not with the almost right, but with the unmistakably right. For in the quiet, the world rearranges itself around you. In the quiet, life prepares its most perfect introductions, And when the right people and opportunities finally arrive, you will see that the stillness was never empty at all. It was overflowing with what you could not yet see. There is a quiet kind of courage in letting go of what is not meant for you. The world often romanticizes persistence, telling you to hold on no matter what, to keep pushing even when something feels wrong, as if the mere act of endurance is a virtue. But there is a deeper wisdom in knowing when to release your grip, when to stop pouring yourself into something that drains you rather than nourishes you. The right people and opportunities cannot arrive when your arms are wrapped tightly around what is misaligned. To cling to the wrong is to signal to life that you do not trust it to bring you something better. Letting go, on the other hand, is an act of faith, a declaration that you believe the space you create will be filled with something more worthy of your presence. The trouble is that the wrong things often disguise themselves as right in the beginning. People enter your life with promises and warmth, and opportunities present themselves with glitter and possibility. But over time, you begin to feel a quiet dissonance, a sense that you are bending yourself into shapes that do not fit, forcing your energy into rhythms that do not feel natural. And yet, because you have already invested time or emotion, you convince yourself to stay. You say, maybe if I try harder, maybe if I wait longer, this will turn into what I hoped it would be. But what is meant for you will not require you to betray yourself in order to keep it. The right people will not make you question your worth, and the right opportunities will not demand that you shrink to fit them. To let go is to honor the truth you already feel. It is to stop asking for scraps of recognition or fleeting moments of joy from the wrong sources. It is to recognize that staying in what drains you is not loyalty. It is fear disguised as commitment, fear of being alone, fear of starting over, fear that nothing better will come. Yet paradoxically, it is the act of staying that keeps the better from arriving. Imagine your life as a room. If every chair is occupied by someone who does not truly see you, where will the right people sit when they arrive? If every surface is covered by projects and obligations that do not light you up, where will the right opportunities rest? To let go is to clear the room. It may look bare for a while, but that is the only way to make space for what belongs. Many resist this because they believe they must have a replacement before they release what is wrong. They want the comfort of knowing that as soon as they let go, something better will instantly appear. But life rarely works on such a neat schedule. There is often a gap, a sacred in-between, where you are without the old but not yet in the new. This is the space where fear will whisper to you to go back, to settle again, to fill the emptiness with anything, rather than sit in it. But if you can hold steady, if you can keep the space open, you create the conditions for alignment. You stop signaling to life that you are satisfied with almost, right? And instead you send out a clear call for what is entirely right. Letting go is not just about people or jobs or circumstances. It is also about releasing the stories you tell yourself, the outdated versions of who you think you must be. Sometimes the wrong opportunity is not external. It is the belief that you must succeed in a certain way or be liked by certain people or follow a path that others approve of. These inner attachments can be just as binding as any external one. When you release them, you free yourself to see possibilities you could not see before. You stop chasing validation from those who will never give it, and you start attracting those who value you without condition. And there is a kind of magic that happens when you let go. It is as though life, seeing your willingness to release what is not yours, rushes to fill the space with something better. The right people appear seemingly out of nowhere, carrying with them a sense of recognition, as though you have always known them. The right opportunities unfold with an ease that makes you wonder why you ever clung so tightly to the wrong ones. But this magic only happens when you trust the process enough to loosen your hold. Of course, letting go is not always clean or painless. Sometimes it feels like tearing away a part of yourself, especially when what you are releasing is something you once deeply wanted. It may leave you grieving, confused, and tempted to reach back for what you know, even if it is not good for you. This is why letting go requires more than logic. It requires trust. Trust that even if you cannot yet see what is ahead, the act of release is moving you closer to it. Trust that your worth is not determined by what you have managed to hold on to, but by the truth you are willing to live by. In time, you will look back and see that the things you let go of were not losses, but exchanges. And you will understand that letting go was never about losing. It was about making space for the arrival of what you had been waiting for all along. And when the right people and opportunities finally find you, you will feel the difference immediately. There will be no contorting yourself to fit, no pretending to be less than you are, no constant effort to make it work. There will be an ease, a flow, a quiet sense of this is right. And in that moment you will know that the act of letting go was the doorway through which they entered your life. Life has a way of shaping you in ways you often do not understand until much later. We are quick to notice when things seem delayed, when the people we hope to meet do not appear, when the opportunities we long for remain just out of reach. In those moments it is tempting to believe something has gone wrong, that life is somehow holding back from you. But more often than not, what feels like delay is really preparation. You are not being denied, you are being shaped. Every experience you pass through, every challenge you endure, every quiet moment of uncertainty is chiseling away what does not belong, refining you into the version of yourself who will be able to receive, hold, and grow with what is meant for you. The right people and opportunities are not just about timing, they are about readiness. And readiness is as much about who you are becoming as it is about when they arrive. The truth is, life will not hand you certain blessings before you are able to carry their weight. Meeting the right person at the wrong time can turn something beautiful into something broken. Stepping into the right opportunity before you are ready can cause it to slip through your fingers. This is why the process of becoming is so important. It is why some doors remain closed until you have learned the patience, the strength, and the clarity to walk through them without fear or self-sabotage. There are skills you are still learning, wounds you are still healing, perspectives you are still gaining, all of which will make you a better match for what is ahead. You may not see it now, but this refining is not punishment. It is alignment. Consider how the ocean shapes the shoreline. It does not do so in a single wave, but through countless movements, each one softening, smoothing, reshaping the edges until the shore is ready to meet the sea in perfect balance. The same is true for you. Life's currents are shaping you, sometimes gently, sometimes with force, always with purpose. The right people and opportunities are not static. They too are evolving, moving toward you in their own readiness. Just as you are being prepared to meet them, they are being prepared to meet you. When the meeting comes, it will not be by accident. It will be the intersection of two journeys that have both reached a point of mutual readiness. The shaping often happens in the smallest, quietest ways. You may not realize that the disappointment you felt last year taught you resilience you will need later. You may not see that the solitude you experienced has deepened your ability to listen, to understand, to connect on a level you never could before. You may not yet understand that the work you are doing now, the skills you are building, the patience you are practicing, are the very things that will allow you to step into the opportunity you are waiting for without hesitation. Life is always preparing you, even in moments that seem empty or aimless. There is also a humbling truth in this process. Readiness is not about becoming perfect. It is not about fixing every flaw or eliminating every weakness. Rather, it is about growing into the version of yourself who can show up honestly and fully for what is meant for you. The right people do not need you to be flawless. They need you to be real, grounded, and open. The right opportunities do not require you to have all the answers. They require you to have the courage to step forward and the humility to learn as you go. Readiness is not about control. It is about trust in your own capacity to meet what comes. When you understand that life is shaping you for the right timing, the waiting becomes easier to bear. Instead of seeing it as wasted time, you begin to see it as a sacred process. Every day you live, you are being given pieces of yourself that you will need later. Strength you didn't know you had, wisdom you didn't know you were gaining, and a deeper connection to what truly matters. You may not be able to see the entire picture now, but one day you will look back and realize that the time you thought was empty was in fact the very thing that made the arrival of the right people and opportunities so fulfilling. And here lies the most beautiful part. When the moment finally comes, it will feel as if it could not have been any other way. You will see how the timing was perfect, how the lessons you learned were exactly what you needed, how the struggles you endured gave you the depth to appreciate what is in front of you. And you will understand that the delay was never a denial. It was a gift that ensured you would not only meet the right people and embrace the right opportunities, but that you would be ready to keep them, nurture them, and grow alongside them for as long as they are meant to be in your life. There is a certain peace that comes from understanding that what is meant for you cannot pass you by. The mind often rebels against this idea, believing instead that life is a game of speed, competition, and scarcity, where if you are not constantly chasing, you will miss your chance forever. Bewilderingly enough, it is but in truth, the things that truly belong to you, whether they are people, opportunities, or experiences, are woven into the fabric of your life in such a way that they will arrive at the exact moment they are supposed to, not a second sooner, not a second later. The arrival happens in its own perfect moment, and no amount of worry, force, or impatience will make it come faster. The very act of trying to rush it often makes it slip further away, because rushing comes from fear, and fear clouds your ability to see and receive what is already unfolding for you. Think about the way the sun rises. You cannot pull it up over the horizon with your hands, nor can you keep it from coming. It arrives when it is time, and when it does, it brings with it light that changes everything. The right people and opportunities are like that sunrise. They are already on their way, moving toward you steadily, even if they are still beyond your sight. You don't need to stand at the horizon all night, straining your eyes in the dark, trying to will the light to appear. You simply need to trust that it will come, and that when it does, you will be ready to step into it. The perfection of timing often reveals itself only in hindsight. How many moments in your life felt delayed, only for you to later realize that had they come sooner, they would have found you unprepared or distracted, unable to fully appreciate them? How many times did a door remain closed, only for you to later walk through a far better one you didn't even know existed? Life is not random in these matters. It is precise. It knows when your heart has grown enough to receive love without fear, when your mind has expanded enough to see possibilities you once ignored, when your spirit has steadied enough to hold the weight of what is coming. To accept this is to free yourself from the exhausting need to control every detail of your journey. You can stop grasping at passing moments, trying to turn them into something they were never meant to be. You can release the anxiety that tells you you are running out of time. There is no too late in the unfolding of what is truly yours. Even if it seems delayed by years, even if the path takes you through detours you never imagined, when it arrives, it will arrive as though it had been waiting for you all along. And you will step into it not as someone desperate for it to save you, but as someone ready to meet it as an equal. The right people and opportunities do not just come to you, they meet you at a point of harmony. They come when who you are matches what they are, when your readiness mirrors theirs. This is why trying to force an arrival before its time often leads to frustration. You may be ready in one sense, but there may be a dozen unseen factors still aligning. Life is not just aligning you, it is aligning everything and everyone else involved. The person you are meant to meet may still be in the middle of their own transformation. The opportunity that will change your life may still be taking shape in ways you cannot yet see. When the pieces are ready, they will fit together effortlessly, as if they were always meant to. And in the meantime, the waiting is not empty. It is alive with preparation. Every day is part of the weaving. The conversations you have now, the skills you develop, the choices you make, even the setbacks you endure, are all threads in the fabric that will eventually hold the moment you are waiting for. When it arrives, you will see that nothing was wasted. The timing will feel inevitable, almost fated, and you will understand that there was never any need to push or pull. It was always coming to you. To live with this understanding is to move through life with a kind of quiet confidence. You can show up fully in the present, not because you have given up on the future, but because you trust it completely. You know that when the right person walks into your life, you will meet them with the ease of recognition. You know that when the right opportunity appears, you will step into it with the strength and clarity you have been cultivating all along. And you know that until that moment comes, nothing is missing, because the journey toward it is just as much a part of your life as the moment of arrival itself,